Ladies and gentlemen, there is a war going on every single day, and it starts the moment you wake up. It's not a war against the world. It's not a war against your boss, your bank account, or your background. It's a war against your own comfort, your own excuses, your own limitations, and the battlefield. It's the morning, because how you start your morning determines how you fight through your day. How you rise will dictate how you shine. If you lose the morning, you're already playing catch up. But if you win the morning, you can win the day. The morning is sacred. It's the most powerful part of your day, not because of how early it is, but because of how much control you have over it. Before the world demands your time, before distractions flood your mind, before problems knock on your door, you have a choice. You can let the morning slip away in comfort and chaos, or you can seize it with clarity and control. You can hit the snooze button and snooze on your destiny, or you can rise up with purpose and build momentum for greatness. Most people don't lose the day because they lack potential. They lose it because they never got started the right way. They wake up reacting instead of creating. They start their day in stress instead of strength. But the high achievers, the visionaries, the world changers, they've discovered the secret: own your morning, and everything else begins to align. Because the morning isn't just a time, it's a tone. It sets the rhythm for your thoughts, your energy, your focus. And if you dominate that first hour, you set the standard for how you respond to everything that follows. So I'm telling you now, don't take your mornings lightly. Don't give them away to laziness, negativity, or distraction. Protect them. Build them. Use them. Because if you can win the morning, if you can discipline your mind, command your body, and fuel your spirit before the world wakes up, you become unstoppable. You don't just survive the day. You don't just manage the day. You win the day. The first hour of your day determines the power of your day. That's not just a catchy phrase. It's a principle that can alter the entire trajectory of your life. Because how you start is how you finish. The tone you set in those first moments after you open your eyes becomes the rhythm of your entire day. And most people never realize that they are losing the battle, not because they don't have talent, not because they don't have a vision, but because they're waking up already defeated. They're starting their mornings in chaos, confusion, and comfort, and then wondering why the rest of the day feels like a blur of stress and failure. Let me ask you something. What's the first thing you do when you wake up? Do you reach for your phone and scroll through other people's lives? Do you let your thoughts run wild with worry, negativity, or fear? Do you hit snooze 3 times and negotiate your purpose with your pillow? Because every one of those decisions is training your mind to react, not create. You're handing over the steering wheel before you even get out of bed. But when you decide, when you make a non-negotiable commitment to take control of that first hour, you start walking in power. You step into the driver's seat of your life. The morning isn't just about waking up. It's about rising up. There's a difference. Waking up is biological. Rising up is intentional. And those who rise up with discipline, focus, and gratitude are the ones who take the lead in life. The first hour is the sacred ground where you plant the seeds of how you're going to think, feel, act, and respond. And if you treat it like just another throwaway moment, you rob yourself of the power to shape your own story. Greatness doesn't come to the one who wants it. It comes to the one who prepares for it. And preparation begins in the morning. That's why athletes train before sunrise. That's why CEOs protect their morning routines like gold. That's why warriors meditate before they go to battle, because they understand that momentum begins before movement. And when you win the morning, you don't just set yourself up to handle problems. You set yourself up to dominate challenges. You enter the day with a sense of direction that keeps you centered even when life throws you off balance. It's not about being a morning person. It's about being a mission-driven person, and your mission doesn't start at 9 a.m. when the world wakes up. It starts the moment your eyes open. That's when the real work begins. You don't need to run a marathon before breakfast. You just need to decide that your first hour will be sacred, focused, and intentional. You need to speak into your day before the world speaks into you. You need to feed your mind, fuel your spirit, and move your body so that you're operating from a place of power, not pressure. The first hour is where you reconnect with your why. It's where you remind yourself of your vision, your values, and your calling. Because if you don't set your compass in the morning, don't be surprised when you feel lost by noon. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your routines. And the first routine of the day is the most important one of all. The first hour gives you clarity. It silences the noise. It gives you time to think before the world thinks for you. And in that silence, you rediscover what matters. You begin your day not in panic, but in power. You stop reacting and start responding. You stop drifting and start directing. That's how leaders are born. That's how visionaries operate. Not by chance, but by choice. And let me tell you, this is not just motivational talk. This is strategy. This is how you retrain your nervous system, your thought patterns, your emotional regulation. Science backs this up. When you start your day with gratitude, movement, intention, and reflection, your brain releases chemicals that enhance focus, boost mood, and improve decision-making. This isn't magic. This is mastery. And it starts with one decision to win the morning. You have to protect that first hour like a fortress. That means no phones, no distractions, no chaos. That means pouring into yourself before the world pulls from you. That means aligning your energy with your mission, so that every step you take is driven by clarity and conviction. If you give your first hour to distractions, don't be surprised when distractions own your whole day. If you give your first hour to your excuses, don't be surprised when excuses run your entire life. Winning the morning doesn't mean you won't face challenges. It means you'll be stronger when they come. It means you'll face them with intention instead of impulse. It means you'll respond instead of react. It means your mind will be anchored while everyone else is tossed around by circumstances. That's the power of the first hour. It anchors you. It's also where confidence is built. You don't get confidence from talking about what you're going to do. You get it from following through. And when you dominate your morning, you start stacking wins early. You build momentum. You feel in control. That confidence carries into every conversation, every meeting, every decision. People feel it. You walk different. You think different. You are different because you've already beaten the most powerful force working against you, your old self. Don't think small acts in the morning don't matter. They're everything. Drinking water first thing instead of caffeine. That's you telling your body, I care. Reading something inspirational instead of checking your notifications. That's you telling your mind, I'm leading. Moving your body with intention instead of scrolling through nonsense. That's you telling your future, I'm coming. It's not about perfection. It's about preparation. It's about direction. It's about alignment. You can't afford to be casual with your mornings if you want to be legendary with your life. Casual mornings create chaotic lives, but structured, sacred, focused mornings create unstoppable momentum. This is where habits are born. This is where resilience is trained. This is where vision becomes reality. Not because everything is easy, but because you show up with power, no matter what's ahead. Ask yourself, what would happen if you owned your first hour every day for the next 30 days? What would shift in your mindset, your energy, your results? The truth is, everything would change, not all at once, but gradually, like a fire being stoked. And eventually, that fire becomes a flame that lights up every area of your life. So if you want to elevate your game, stop looking for external breakthroughs and start winning your mornings. Get up with purpose. Start with discipline. Anchor your focus. Align your heart. Fuel your spirit. Move your body. Set your tone. Because once you win that first hour, the rest of the day is playing catch up to your greatness. You don't need more hours in the day. You need more power in your hours. And that power starts at sunrise. Win the morning. Win the day. If you don't control your mornings, your life will always feel out of control. That's not an exaggeration. That's the truth most people are too distracted to recognize. When your day starts in chaos, the chaos doesn't stay confined to the morning. It leaks into your afternoon, poisons your productivity, stifles your progress, and weighs down your spirit. You begin every morning with a choice. Either you run the morning, or the morning runs you. And if you let the morning slip through your fingers, don't be surprised when the rest of your day becomes a blur of confusion and regret. Control doesn't mean perfection. It means intention. It means you've decided that your life is not going to be determined by how you feel when the alarm goes off, or by the notifications on your phone, or by the demands of other people. It means that before the world gets a piece of you, you get the whole of you. And if you can't give yourself the first part of your day, what makes you think you'll be able to give your best to anything else? Think about the times when you've felt completely overwhelmed, scattered, or stuck. More often than not, those days began without structure. You woke up late, rushed through your morning, skipped over your priorities, and found yourself reacting to everything instead of creating anything. That's what happens when your mornings go unclaimed. Your life follows suit, because your mornings aren't just a time slot. They are a spiritual alignment point. It's where your values either meet your actions or they don't. It's where you either take the wheel or surrender it to distraction, laziness, and excuses. And let's not sugarcoat it. Most people don't want to control their mornings because it requires discipline. It requires waking up earlier. It requires choosing purpose over comfort. It requires stepping away from the habits that feel good but rob you blind. But growth doesn't care about comfort. Progress doesn't consult your feelings. Success doesn't knock on the door of those still hiding under the blanket of procrastination. If you want a life that feels powerful, you must take control of the part of the day where power begins the morning. Controlling your morning is about reclaiming your authority. It's about planting your feet firmly before the storm comes. Because the storm will come. Challenges, setbacks, critics, responsibilities. But when you begin the day grounded, you don't get thrown around by every wave. You operate from a place of strength. Your energy is intentional. Your thoughts are guided. Your emotions are steady. That's what it means to be in control. Not that nothing ever goes wrong, but that you're prepared no matter what goes wrong. When you surrender your mornings to randomness, your dreams become random too. And that's a dangerous place to live in a life that's constantly reacting, constantly chasing, constantly feeling behind. When you take charge of your morning, you take charge of your life, because the habits you build in those first 60 minutes carry a weight that echoes into every corner of your day. You begin to speak differently, think differently, move differently. You begin to attract different opportunities, not because the world has changed, but because you have. Controlling your morning creates alignment. It brings your actions into harmony with your vision. It reminds you of who you are and what you're about. Every time you wake up with intention, you're declaring to the universe, I'm not here to drift. I'm here to dominate. That's what winners do. That's what leaders do. That's what builders do. They don't wake up hoping the day goes well. They wake up and make it go well. You don't need a 2-hour ritual or a complicated routine. You just need structure. Simplicity beats complexity every time. You need 3 to 5 non-negotiables, simple acts that remind you of your values, direct your energy, and keep your focus sharp. Maybe it's 10 minutes of gratitude. Maybe it's a short workout to activate your body. Maybe it's journaling your goals or reading something that feeds your mind. Whatever it is, it must serve you. And it must be yours, not someone else's version of productivity. Because this isn't about trends. This is about transformation. When you don't control your morning, your time belongs to everybody else. The phone owns your focus. Your inbox owns your anxiety. Your schedule owns your peace. You go from task to task like a machine instead of moving with presence and power. That's how burnout begins. Not because you're weak, but because you never built a foundation strong enough to carry your day. And that foundation starts when the world is still quiet. That's your window. That's your chance. That's your battlefield. The enemy of a controlled morning is distraction, and distraction is sneaky. It doesn't always show up as something obviously destructive. Sometimes it looks like a quick scroll on social media. Sometimes it's just 5 more minutes of sleep. Sometimes it's a conversation that could have waited. These things look small, but they stack up. And before you know it, the hour you needed to build yourself is gone, and the day is dragging you. But when you control your mornings, you no longer start from behind. You start ahead. You've already built momentum before the rest of the world wakes up. You've already trained your mind, sharpened your discipline, and aligned your intentions. That early momentum compounds. And when challenges hit, they don't shake you the same. When stress shows up, you handle it instead of hiding from it. When opportunity knocks, you're ready because you've already been practicing readiness since sunrise. And don't think the world isn't watching. People can tell when you walk in with grounded energy. They can sense when your confidence isn't fake. They notice when your words are sharp, your posture is strong, and your focus is clear. That's what morning discipline does. It leaks into your presence. It shapes how you show up in every room, every meeting, every conversation. You become the thermostat, not the thermometer. You set the tone. It's also worth mentioning that when you control your mornings, you stop chasing time and start creating time. You realize that what you do first determines what gets done next. You stop living in reaction mode. You stop feeling like you're always trying to catch up. You feel ahead, and that changes everything. When your mind is clear, your decisions are better. When your spirit is aligned, your energy is consistent. When your body is activated, your productivity flows. Most people think they need a life overhaul. What they really need is a morning overhaul. They want change, but they ignore the part of the day where change begins. You don't change your life by trying to control everything. You change it by controlling the part that's within your grasp. And the morning belongs to you, if you're bold enough to claim it. This is your invitation to take back the part of your life that's been slipping through your fingers. You've got dreams to chase. You've got goals to achieve. You've got people depending on you. Maybe a family, maybe a team, maybe just your future self. But you can't lead others until you lead yourself. You can't inspire others if you haven't first lit the fire within you. That fire is kindled in the quiet of the morning. Let the world wake up to the power you've already activated. Let your progress speak louder than your plans. Let your mornings become a declaration of intent, not a moment of survival. Control them, defend them, protect them, make them yours. Because if you don't control your mornings, someone else will. This isn't about waking up early for the sake of being early. This is about being in charge, being on purpose, living from the inside out. Because when you command your morning, you build a life that responds to your values, not just your circumstances. It's your time. It's your life. Start with the hour you still own.